But the legal issue at stake is not essentially about contraceptives or abortion-inducing drugs. This is essentially a question of religious liberty.
That's right.
What is at stake here is whether the executive branch of the government can enforce administrative orders that violate clearly the Constitution and trample upon the Bill of Rights. As I said a moment ago, if it remains unchanged, the ruling may be the single greatest violation of religious freedom in American history. Tragically, there have been pivotal moments throughout history when the church has remained silent in the face of government malfeasance. But Protestants and Catholics in the Truckee Meadows are united to declare that we will not remain silent over this issue. This issue is not reverse the religious freedom we have treasured in our nation for more than 200 years. Will suffer catastrophic losses. For this reason, we're calling on all Americans who treasure religious freedom to demand the immediate revocation of the recent Department of Health and Human Services ruling.
Yes.
Thank you, Pastor Bob. Thank you very much for standing with us. I'd like to tell one other short little story before we conclude, and that is about the Little Sisters of the Poor. The Little Sisters of the Poor is a group of Catholic women religious, nuns, in other words, that have dedicated themselves in their entire lives to the Lord Jesus and to the service of the elderly poor. What their whole life is they take care of abandoned elderly people in the United States and throughout the world. That's their whole life. That's what they're dedicated to. Those people that our society has cast aside, the most marginalized of elderly people. The Little Sisters of the Poor, under this mandate, will be forced to buy for themselves abortion-inducing drugs, contraceptives, and sterilization. And I ask you, what are we doing forcing nuns to buy themselves abortion-inducing drugs? Is that right? No. Will we stand for that?
No.
Cannot imagine a more horrible violation of religious freedom than to make these women do that. And of course, what will happen, they cannot do that. So they will pay fines such that they cannot employ people and they will no longer be able to serve the elderly poor. And so how much more abandoned and marginalized will those people be? That is the impact. And I would say that if there is a war on women, that is the war on women.
That's right.
Will everyone do one thing for us here today? You should have a flyer, and on the flyer, on the front of it, are the names and telephone numbers of our Nevada congressional delegation. When we leave here today, would you please call them and tell them what you think about the HHS mandate? Will you call them?
Yes.
Thanks everybody for coming out today, and to conclude our rally, Father Francisco, will you come back up to lead us in singing America the Beautiful? The lyrics of all the verses are on the reverse side of your flyer.
Oh,